So welcome to the vlog. I'm here at Acme Cleaners in Orlando, Florida. You can see with the old tree with the hanging Spanish moss. But Acme Cleaners has been en route since 1928. I love their motto, so convenient it's addictive. And for those that think convenience still doesn't matter, Randy Parnham here was one of the first ones that really pushed kind of in-car service or drive-thrus. I can remember being here a few years ago and he actually had a sign, "Don't come in here anymore," or something like that. And so again, although he's got 2 route vans, I'm riding with Heather today, he's made this super convenient, which also convenience can also borderline social distancing. And so in this day and age where dry cleaning has got so much uncertainty, one thing's for certain is convenience is probably more prevalent than ever. And of course, the social distancing. So, you know, I think I'm pretty blessed to be down here in Orlando, Florida, on an on-site here during this time. But we're gonna talk to Heather Freitag today. Heather was in our original initial graduating group at Route Pro University. It's been 5 years since she's been there, but we're gonna chat with Heather a little bit today. We're gonna go through some tips and tricks that she's learned, that she's endured through, and through the changes of COVID. So join us for another fun ride along today as we spend another day with another driver, and Heather, who's been here over 5 years, one of the best. Welcome to the vlog. I'm James Poyser. Heather Freitag, am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, you are.
After years. Heather was in the original Route Pro University class of 5. This would be 2015, is that right?
I believe so.
Man, I tell you, that was a good time. We had, I think, 5 or 6 trainees. It was like the Breakfast Club. We won't go into the details, but about as close as the Breakfast Club could be. Now, Heather, you know, 5 years later, you're still doing routes. What have you learned in the last 5 years from day one? Well, from Kansas City to now.
So there's a lot of stuff. I would say a lot of just using the right words makes a lot of difference versus saying things like, "Did everything come back to your liking?" versus "Did everything come back right?" Like, there's customers that don't want creases in their sleeves. There are customers that want creases in their sleeves. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff.
You know, you talked about COVID. You know, now you're being an experienced driver and dealing with COVID. You know, what's been your number one hurdle so far?
People working from home and not doing dry cleaning as much, and I've tried to get a lot of the customers who aren't doing dry cleaning as much to switch over to, "Hey, well, how about we do some wash and fold for you? Save you a couple hours in your day and have something else to do versus having to do your laundry." It's worked out for the most part.
Well, you know, I think adapting is all part of business and life.
Sure.
And you've gone through some good hurdles here at Acme down in Orlando. You've gone through some drivers. We won't share some of the driver stories, but you and I were, but we won't do it on camera. You got Sean now, who's doing good. So, you know, we're in a pretty gated community, and one of the things I commend you on, you really build a good relationship with the gatekeepers. Tell people a little bit about what that's about.
I try to just acknowledge them as people, or just talk to them and ask them how their day was. There's a guy that I've actually knew previous before I was even working for Acme, and as soon as I started doing route, I got him to switch over from a different cleaners that he was using, and he's not allowed to say or like tell people what company to use, but he's allowed to tell people what company he uses versus telling them what to use, and just keeping that rapport and treating them like people and saying, hey, how are you? Or just even just a smile can make somebody's day, especially when they're probably got a lot of disgruntled people or having to wait in line for 5 minutes at their gate, you know.
You've done sales a long time. What's like, if you were to share your number one tip with drivers out in the field about sales, what would that be? And we haven't scripted this, so she's on the spot. So,
try to find something you have in common with your customer. Like, I had a customer who was converted from one of our stores, it's a walk-in store, so she didn't feel safe going into the store after COVID or whatever. Talked about her cat that she had outside, and she told me that it's technically not her cat, it's a neighborhood cat. But the next time I had seen her, she was like, I feel like I know you already or whatever. And just trying to find a common interest to talk about, and treating them like that whole treating them like people again. Like, I know it's just dry cleaning, but there are some days where people just want to hear, hey, how are you today? Instead of saying, hey, you have a pickup for me today? Just a hope all is well, you know. Sometimes that goes a lot further than you think.
Well, we're going to continue with Heather in the field. I'm going to show you some little clips, you know, during today's ride along with Heather, as I'm here to help her with overcoming the COVID challenges from selling to retention. So wish us luck today. One of the cool things about Heather, she has to do a lot of gated communities, but she's got a great relationship with her guard. She's actually delivering to one of her guards right now. So, you know, this is pretty important because these are like the gatekeepers, literally, of these super gated communities. So, so far I've witnessed her have a really full, engaged conversation with most of them. She knows them by name. She knows their habits. She knows how well they refer her or not. She's been doing this for 5 years for Acme Cleaners. So anyway, you know, when you are delivering to gated communities, it's really important that you build a relationship with the gatekeeper, literally the gatekeeper. So as I continue my ride along with Heather, we are in a really highly gated community and all that stuff, but Heather, you've got something I've never seen before. What do you got there?
Frisbees.
What's the Frisbees for?
For puppies. Not only do you get to talk to them, but you get to give a puppy a Frisbee.
I have never heard of Frisbees we do dog bones and treats and all that, but Frisbees, does it work?
It works. I've had maybe 3 out of 50 people I've given them. No, they're really old. They don't want to play, but for the most part, everybody's taken them.
Frisbees. That's crazy. That's awesome, though. Good job there, Heather. I'm riding here with Sean Beck of Acme Cleaners as we are running the route.
Hello.
On a bumpy brick road like half your route is. And, you know, we're kind of spotlighting Heather today on our vlog. What's some kind words you have for Heather?
Heather is very devoted to her customers and very devoted to the company. As soon as I met her, I realized that from the get-go.
Did you say gecko or guy?
Get-go.
We got video of a gecko. But anyway, yeah, you know, she's been doing this for 5 years and she knows the routes like the back of her hand. But, you know, one of the things I always challenge people about is, you know, when you meet somebody like Heather who's that dedicated, you know, you just know the customers, they reciprocate. They give back and they stay loyal because of that.
Sure.
And if you stay loyal to them, they'll stay loyal to you.
Right.
Well, we're persevering out here in Orlando, Florida. And Sean, you know, you talked about the COVID thing. I mean, how are you handling this COVID with your customers?
The main thing was initially when it all hit and we saw what the difference was going to be was we had to communicate and get out there and let them know that we're still running. You know, we're essential and we're still there to provide the service for them. I think a lot of people just were under the perception that we were going to be shut down. So job number one was to get out and contact everybody and let them know that we're still running and we're still able to service them.
Man, that was great. And yeah, that's true. Letting the customers know that we're still essential. You're essential and we're still here. Keep them going. All right. Well, Sean, let's go out and persevere and we'll keep going.
All right. Thank you.
So that's going to do it for my ride along with Heather. I'm going to give you my top 3 takeaways and hopefully lessons learned from her that you could put into play whether you're a driver, manager, or owner. Number 1, she's very loyal to her customers. And again, even though that can be considered over service sometimes, she knows their trends, she knows their spins, she knows their habits, and she knows them personally. So take care of the customers, they'll take care of you. Number 2, she has a great relationship with the gatekeeper. She really is good at understanding what they're about, running these gated communities. So she services them well, she takes care of their clothes, and she has a great relationship with them as they semi-recognize and refer her as the driver of choice or dry cleaner of choice. And number 3, positivity. She still stays positive even through this difficult time, and that tends to trickle down with some of the staff. So top 3 things from Heather. Heather, thank you. Again, original graduate of Route Pro University. It's never too late to send your staff to Route Pro University, whether they're brand new or they've been doing it for a long time. Anyway, that's going to do it for this vlog. Check out other vlogs at Route Pro's vlogs or on my YouTube channel.